I should do this every day for this kind of applause. Salve omnes. I want to take this opportunity to welcome you to the first of what I hope will be the annual Cives Pro Aliis dinner. A number of years ago, a very influential teacher in my life shared with me the importance of celebrating time over food with the people you admire and cherish. So I'm hopeful that this environment provides an appropriate setting for reconnecting, reliving moments, and refining your hopes for the future with one another as you progress throughout your years in academia. I will keep my opening address brief, relatively, in the hope that you'll be able to share your time with one another in as complete and meaningful a way as possible. Tonight, we're fortunate to have Latin students of the present and past with us, and future, we hope. Many of you have earned high accolades in the classroom, on the National Latin exam, in Curtamen competitions, and in the classroom itself. Latin might have provided you with the means to accomplish a goal for which you might have been longing. It might provide you with a platform to explore the dynamics of your intellect. It might have given you an opportunity to make friends you would not have normally met. It might have afforded you the ability to test your wakefulness while reading Virgil throughout the night. Build a Trojan horse. Hijack the Rocky Hill vessel Little Hope while filming a reenactment of Vesuvius' eruption. Cast aspersions onto your Latin teacher for asking you to clear your vicinities prior to a quiz. Whatever Latin has done for you, it is my hope that you are a better person for having gone through the experience, aware enough that your perspective on something, whatever that something is, might have changed even ever so slightly. The study of classics truly does have a way of changing the way you perceive things. It forces you to make decisions and to think critically, whether it be about whether the dative should be translated as to or for, or whether wordplay really does play a role in the meaning of poetry. It is my hope that by studying Latin you might be able to come away with a few useful lessons about life, even if you never remember how to form and, dare I say, translate the passive periphrastic. First, I urge you to use the study of Latin as a means to observe exemplars for great thinking. The philosopher René Descartes takes a rather hyperbolic view of this statement by basing his entire existence on his ability to think, cogito ergo sum. Life is a complex maze of twists and turns, but our ability to think is what truly sets us apart from many other forms of life, including the barbarians about whom we study. Great thinking can and should happen all the time, and it is through our personal conversations that this thinking can best take place. So converse with one another. Do it face to face. Don't text it to one another. Don't send emoticons, and certainly don't abbreviate your thoughts in an incomprehensible hodgepodge of LOLs, JKs, BRBs, TTYLs, IDKs. Talk to one another. Think with one another. Discuss the world. Change your views. But for heaven's sake, take the time to know, then to think, and then to know more fully. Secondly, as you progress through life, be responsive to nuance and subtlety. When reading poetry, scoff at the pragmatist who suggests the trees are just trees. Meter does not suggest meaning, or rhetorical devices are mere rubbish. Life is beautiful, and expressed through prose and poetry, it can substantiate its beauty through small things like sounds, placement of words, aesthetics of letters. Just as a great hike through the woods is made far better by observing the beautiful flora and fauna that exists everywhere around us, by noticing all the sounds that contribute to the music of the spheres, so too is our ability to add meaning to our lives, by noticing the nuances and extracting the meaning from the nuances in order to create deeper meaning for ourselves. Thirdly, in a world that prizes people who speak, and speak more, be comfortable with being a good listener. Take the time to listen, but always listen actively. Cicero suggests that the reason we cannot hear the music that the planets produce is because we've been born hearing it. We know nothing other than it. We have nothing with which to compare it. I urge you to recognize silence as a sound as important, if not far, far more important, than speaking. For in order to speak with meaning, we must hand ourselves over to the power of listening, so that we might be better thinkers and better speakers for having been in its very midst. Finally, view failure as a challenge to improve rather than as a justification for change. In baseball, it's been said that even the best hitters fail 7 out of 10 times. 7 out of every 10 times they come to the plate. As students, we fail if we get more than 4.1 out of 10 questions incorrect. But these numbers are merely indicators. They're meant to give us feedback, not to judge. They're meant to indicate areas in which we need improvement. And improvement is something we all need. To conclude, I'd like to again extend a huge thank you for attending this event. I would also like to directly thank the people who made this event possible. First, the students, both of the past and present. Without your intention to act as scholars, the scholarly achievement with which we are celebrating would be non-existent. I would also like to thank the parents for encouraging your daughters and sons to study classics and for providing us with this bountiful feast. I would like to thank Paula Santos. As I have told her, given the fray of the end of the academic year and the end of a long and fantastic softball season, I'll add, I simply would not have been able to organize this event without your support. And so, to quote the oft-read and sometimes maligned poet Catullus, "Canabis bene apud me." Enjoy the rest of the evening, an evening which will prove to be wonderful with the gathering of us. Later on, essentially right now, as soon as I'm finished speaking, we'll be fortunate enough to hear from our alumnus guest speaker, Christopher Lamantia, who also happened to have recently graduated from the College of Worcester. So please relax, eat, mingle, reconnect, enjoy, and most importantly, please accept my sincere appreciation for attending this wonderful event.